welcome back. This is going to be the semi-final of Ramir Gaming's the Poro Cup 2, and it's surely going to be an action-packed match. We're joined again by SWSW on the red side, and on the blue side now we have JD to DJ back on the Rift. I'm joined now by Kalia. How are you doing? Kalia, are you there?
I am, and now that my mic's unmuted, everybody will be able to hear me. Now,
All right. So, just having a look at the bans. We're seeing quite a few mid laners being banned away, as well as Lee Sin and Braum.
yeah, I mean, SW or Sweetie Swag all day. Leet's really just been their standout player. He's done amazingly for them in all games, so it's not surprising that they spend a lot of bans trying to get him a favorable matchup. So, Ari and Zera, um, straight off the top of my head, that doesn't immediately tell me anything. He has picked up the Rise, and I believe we did see him play mid lane Rise once earlier today.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's not really surprising to see them spend a lot of bans onto him or on towards getting him that favorable matchup, as he is their standout carry player so far today.
And the jungle picks, Jarvan and Kha'Zix, I think they've been in every single match at one or the other or both.
Yeah, that might not surprise me, and you can really see why. They're both just incredibly strong picks for whatever team they're into. They both really fit into any team, and you can build any sort of team around them, which I guess is one of the reasons they're picked so much because people just know that they can pick those junglers early. They're good, strong, competitive junglers, and they'll be able to take those junglers into whatever comp they want.
And the bully lane and Lucian and Thresh, one of the first games that Lucian has been allowed through, one of the few games he's been allowed through, and that's going to go on to Nomp's amazing Janna and a Corki.
Yeah, it'll certainly be interesting to see this game. Obviously, that Lucian is a very favored AD carry right now. A little surprised not to see Tristana get picked up, even though she's left open. Maybe Sweetie Swag looking to complement their mid game with an AD carry rather than having two late game picks, but I'm not them, so I can't really speculate too much on that. We have seen Koinu play a Corki earlier today, I believe, and that was quite impressive. So we'll see where he takes that.
Yeah, and now we're waiting on them to lock those two picks in, looking like the first Syndra mid lane of this tournament that we have seen. TTJ taking away Divine's Aurelia as well. Oh, is it going to be a Z with the Janna? That combo is really, really powerful.
Yes. Now we have seen Nomp play quite a bit of Janna, and this game is really going to be on him to protect his team. Janna is great at peeling, especially against melee heroes, and Kha'Zix and Aurelia are going to really struggle with Janna. We've seen Nomp play Janna I think twice already today, and both times I was really impressed with his Janna play. So I don't think he'll be too pressured going into this matchup. You know, knowing that a lot of the pressure's on him to protect his team, but Rice doesn't really need protecting. He's eventually going to get tanky enough to sort of be in the front line anyway. It's only really that Corki, so we'll see how well Nomp can protect Koinu on that Corki, and how well Koinu can do to keep himself alive with Valkyrie.
And what do you think about the Syndra pick? It was banned away in the match that Combustion was in previously, but he's got this one now. How's he going to make use of that one?
I'm not really sure how well he's gonna do on that. We did see Combustion play. Oh, I can't remember now. But he played someone earlier, and I remember being really impressed with Combusken's skill on that champion. So Syndra has kind of always sort of been that off-meta pick that's always been good in certain situations. She's sort of always just been right on the cusp of breaking into being a regular pick. So, I don't worry about the champion too much. Obviously, it is quite a high skill cap champion, and the difference between a really good Syndra and a regular Syndra is really noticeable. So it's up to Combusken to prove that he is that really good Syndra. And if he can, I think he'll do quite well against Zed. He certainly has the kill potential or the potential to kill a Zed in that mid lane. Likewise, Zed has the potential to kill him. So maybe we'll see a bit of jungle retention towards the mid lane. Surprisingly, once again.
Yeah, once again, it seems to be the real focus for Swiggity Swag, as they like to be called. I think this is a different jungler player. That one guy I haven't seen before for the side of JD the DJ, who played very, very well against Glass Slip. So this is a different jungler player. I'm not too sure the difference of this is going to make. Whether it's going to affect the game. He is Platinum 3, so he's got the solo queue rate. He's fairly decent. But SWSW are so good as a team, and this really reminds me of kind of a Worlds composition. A team we've seen at Worlds, just kind of looking at the Champions League, SWSW is playing like a really well coordinated team, even in the Champions League stage.
Yeah, it's certainly a well-rounded team. Straight off the top of your head, you can see a lot of synergy there. Zed, while his AoE damage it pales in comparison to his single target damage, he still has the AoE damage with the Shadow. Ryze, if he pops that ultimate, he's got AoE damage. Janna, AoE CC. Jarvan, AoE CC. Corki, AoE damage. So you can see, they have that single target damage with the Ryze and Zed, but it also transitions into an AoE comp as well, and a sort of pseudo AoE comp with all their random damage that's going to be flying around as well. So if Jarvan gets a good Cataclysm off, suddenly that's a 2-3 man tornado. The Corki missile barrage is hitting a group of people, and there's that sort of thing to it as well. But then Zed and Ryze can both just find a target, lock them down, and kill them straight away. So I do really like Sweetie Swag's comp here. But that being said, I also do like JD to DJ's comp. Obviously, Lucian is a great pick. Aurelia's been really, really strong throughout forever, basically. Copping nerfs continuously, and then every time she somehow makes her way back into the competitive scene. So the top lane's certainly going to be interesting, and I think sort of how the solo lanes do is going to define how this game progresses. And honestly, I think we'll see a Wrecking Ball pay a lot more attention to mid, because Syndra won't have that sort of escape and that mobility to get away, and then once Zed gets rolling, they can just send him into a lane to do his own thing and sort of win the game for them that way. That's what I like to see them do. But alternatively, Jarvan can just quite as easily just camp top lane and get Ryze snowballing, and then all of a sudden, Ryze is unkillable and outputting 1,000,000 damage. So a lot of options for a Wrecking Ball here.
For sure, and Ryze was one of the first picks in the Champion Select, Zed being the last pick. I do wonder whether they suspected it was the Ryze mid lane, and then all of a sudden, he picks up the Zed and changes it all up. They've got solo laners that can really play anything, and that's given them a little bit of an advantage in Champion Select so far.
Yeah,
we're coming into the Rift now. This is a semi-final. The winner of this goes on to the grand final of the Poro Cup 2. Is a pause at the moment. Hopefully we're going to get that remedied very quickly. A whole lot of pings for JD to DJ in this red side. Are we going to maybe see one of the invades, the classic just run into the red buff, try and catch someone that we have seen in previous matches?
It's very very possible based on previous experience that that could happen. But both teams you know also have that CC level 1 that they can take as well. They've got the Jana Tornado and the Rune Prison over on Sweetie Swag, and then the Thresh Hook over on JD to DJ. So yeah, there's certainly potential for that. But that being said, I believe this is the game for deciding third place. So whoever loses ends up with third place. So there is a lot on the line, and maybe not wanting to risk throwing away the early lead like that. Suddenly you lose 2 kills at level 1, and all of a sudden one of your lanes is getting destroyed. Jarvan destroys another one, and the game becomes out of hand almost by 5 minutes, sort of thing.
And I do like what they're doing here. All 5 members of JD to DJ has rotated in this bottom lane, and they've got a ward on their red buff area. SWSW hasn't really done a good job of warding up this one entrance. This is the one entrance they have not warded, and it has been found. All 5 members sitting in this bush. They're going to have to ward this one. They're going to have to play it safe. Here's TTTJ. Now looking for a hook. Hits it onto Wrecking Ball. He's just walking straight in. And that's first blood for JD to DJ.
Yeah, I mean, once you see Aurelia, who's the top laner down there, that's the indication that all 5 people are there, and you don't want to walk in there. But Wrecking Ball probably thought he was a bit stronger than he was, and decided to walk into 5 people. That's really not going to help him. He won't immediately lose his blue buff. They might be able to contest it, and it looks like they are going to here actually. If Kha'Zix doesn't get this, it will hurt him quite a bit.
A Wrecking Ball has been very on point with smites, and I haven't seen that one guy play in this match. SWSW already getting him really low. That one guy's been tanking the whole thing. Has to use heal to get him out of there. And an exhaust, they do not want to die. The flash has been used as well. They really want just to get the hell out of here. So much used just to get a blue buff on their cousin.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, Kha'Zix does get that blue buff, but noticeably Jarvan's now 2 minutes into the game and he hasn't got a single point of EXP, which is that's really going to hurt him. He's able to clear away the small minions, but he's certainly going to struggle going into this jungle. He's going to be behind Kha'Zix straight off the bat. So despite a lot being used there, it was really, really worth it. And Kha'Zix is in a nice place already because of this. And Jarvan struggles for mana in his early clears. So again, this is going to really, really hurt Jarvan. And this will be a real test of a Wrecking Ball's skill as a player to see if he can bring something back from this and make himself useful in this game.
And that one guy, not even going to his blue buff immediately, just takes Wraith's red buff, goes back to base, and it seems like he's just expecting to get a blue buff as well. Maybe a Wrecking Ball could go and try and steal this one. Is that a possibility?
It is, but I think that one guy, he backed because he recognized that Zed and Ryze were both still in their lanes. If one of them or even both of them was missing, he would have left. But recognizing that Jarvan's probably not going to go and solo an enemy buff this early on, especially while he's been struggling. And you can see Jarvan here. If he's only just managed to clear the red, he's got 200 health and no mana left. He's gonna have to go back. He's still only level 2 at 4 minutes in the game, and that's really not where you want to be.
And in this top lane, Ryze a lot of her onto Aurelia. Aurelia quite low health, has a flask and pot to try and sustain through this one. Ryze does have a mana crystal but no mana regen. Now we see Kha'Zix coming with the gank. He's already in the bush. He needs to go and focus smart. And there's the TJ. He flashes in and now jump onto Divine. Divine is into the bush, wants to flash away from this one, but doesn't even get the chance to do so. He's taken down, and that's a lead on Aurelia against Ryze.
A lot of trading going on at bottom, but yeah, I mean, a kind of good play right at the end there by Divine not to flash. He wasn't getting away from that no matter how hard he dreamed, so he's going to save that for another chance where he could possibly live. At the same time, it is really going to hurt him going down like that, and you know, he's certainly not going to be too happy about giving that kill over to Aurelia, but he was able to get a tier on his back, so you know, that's nice enough for him. I can recognize that he was trying to sort of push Aurelia out early, because Aurelia will win once sort of they hit level 7 to onwards. Aurelia's going to win until Rise can get those items, so I was trying to push her out and delay that phase where he is just naturally going to lose that lane. But, you know, unfortunately, Kha'Zix's good early start and, you know, a good intuition with how the game needs to be played out is just going to shut him down.
And another good intuition. He's in the mid lane on Philippe now, MVP of SWSW, and that is why. He just flashes over the wall into the bush. Oh, but there's the flash voice spikes. That one guy is the one guy you gotta watch, because he's getting kills all over the map. Now he's on top of a wrecking ball. He's slowing him down. Here's TTTJ. Wow, so low health. That Jarvan does get out of that one alive, but that one guy is playing the map so well.
Yeah, he is doing really nice for himself. He's given his both of his solo lanes a really great lead, and you know, now he's looking towards that dragon for his team. SWSW don't know about this, and even if they do, they recognize there's nothing they can do. Jarvan has only just hit level 4 now, and you know, that's not something you can contest dragon with, and you know, a mid laner dead as well. There's just not much you can do there. So Rise did have a little bit of time at top lane to do his own thing, but you know, at the same time, SWSW, they're losing this early game quite heavily. It's going to be up to, I think, a little bit of individual brilliance, maybe coming from Leet. You know, that's where they have to look. Leet's been the player for them all tournament long. Can he make something happen for them? But he's still not level 6 yet.
I mean, he does have that level 6. He's going to get the Cataclysm in. It's 7 minutes into this game. The second round of buffs should be coming up very soon. I don't believe they have the timer on that blue buff. The whole up plays landing on Koinu, and they are going to run away from this one after a very favourable trade. The bottom lane. But I was saying, he's looking for another cancel back in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think he might go on this. Yeah, there he goes.
Oh wow, he does. And Combustion is jumping away, but then Leet is following. Hold on a moment. He's under a turret. Kha'Zix, Void Spikes, wasn't quite able to turn that gold into their team's favour with an assist as well, as the kills just go back and forth in that mid lane. 61 CS to 45. It seems every lane is winning for the side of KD the DJ.
I mean, every lane has sort of struggled a bit on the side of SWSW, but it's not as disastrous as it might originally look. A lot of that gold is just from the dragon. And we see Rise and Aurelia going at it.
TTTJ has to run away. Fine, using the ultimate, running around that one, and they do just trade a bit, but man, Rise is still in trouble. And here's the reason why. TTTJ just takes him down there, jumps to a low health minion, and it resets the cooldown of her dash, dashes straight on top of Rise and takes her down. But Wrecking Ball knew that one was coming. Cataclysm, he's hit level 6 now, 1v1ing TTTJ, but Aurelia is so strong and wins the 1v1, scaring away a Wrecking Ball. TTTJ is a huge threat right now. Two members trying to kill them on their own, not able to.
I mean, that was a pretty heavy misplay from a Wrecking Ball there. As a Jarvan, your big damage is your EQ combo. You can't use that just to get vision. You know, maybe a little bit better play would have recognized Aurelia had no flash to dodge. So all he really needed to do was land his Q and use the E for vision in the brush, and then and he probably would have been able to secure that kill. But you know, maybe just a little bit rattled with how the game's playing out so far. Normally SWSW are doing this to the enemy team. They're not used to losing the early game like this, and you know, you can see they're a little bit rattled. Divine is just getting absolutely monstered in the top lane.
Yep, TTTJ just keeps going back on top of them, and then sustains up from some minions with that with the flask. is, well, Epic pushing in this bottom lane. They're just shoving every lane around and making work of every lane, doing what they want, it seems. And Kha'Zix has set this early lead up in this mid lane, in this top lane. Only lane, or actually in the top lane, there's a CS bunch. Hold on a moment. Both ultimates used in the mid lane, but Leap dodges out combustions. Doesn't really matter. The only kill going down is the Z. Oh, everywhere on the map, everyone's going down though. TTJ is versus the Jarvan, flashes out of Cataclysm. And we see that one guy is going to turn this fight around. TTJ plays that well, but Flash, auto attack, Wrecking Ball gets that kill. And Kha'Zix, 2-0-2. Also on the bottom lane, a kill. So it's 4 kills all over the map for JD to DJ, and only for Aurelia in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, again, we see a pretty huge misplay out of the Wrecking Ball, and I know I'm picking on him a little bit, but it's crucial moments in the game when you're behind and you have the chance to make those plays. But his flag and drag combo didn't land on Aurelia. He used it too early, didn't get the CC, didn't get the damage, and then Ryze went down, and eventually he had to die himself to trade the kills. So it's little things like that that really really separate the good from the great, and unfortunately just falling a little bit short. Now TTJ just absolutely wrecking Leet in the mid lane now. He's everywhere on the map, and I'm not sure if they can stop him at this point. Aurelia's huge, got most of the Trinity Force already, and I think only about 600 gold from completing that, so that's awfully scary 12 minutes in the game.
And the dragon is spawning in less than a minute. The scary Aurelia is surely going to be available for that one. The teleport is right there. Rises should come up before the dragon does come up. Anyway, he's coming into the mid lane now. They're trying to set something up, doing their best, and then Flag and Drake does hit this time. Sonya's Hourglass used. He cannot get away from this one. Goes on to Leet instead. Deathmark. Wow. What just happened? A shutdown onto Combustion, but not before Leet was taken down himself. The trade of kills wasn't what they were going for there. That one guy pushing out Divine, and it's not going to be an easy dragon take after that trade of kills in the mid lane.
Yeah, Divine might go down here.
Has to flash away. Every member really, Syndra, except the bottom lane. Not all much has happened in the bottom lane, but the Kha'Zix, the Aurelia, the Syndra, they just simply beat their opposing pick. They simply beat the corresponding lane or the jungler. And now they're going for this dragon. They've pressured everyone back to base and away from this. The bottom lane is here, and they're going to get that dragon before there's any response from SWSW.
I mean, this game is just all out of control from that first blue, setting Jarvan so far behind. Kha'Zix then making that lead into a lead for both of his solo lanes as well. And, you can just see it's out of control.
Done. Divine and Leaf, one goes down, but the other one gets out now. Cataclysm and Wrecking Ball locking those two up while the rest of his team fights, trying to do what they can, but Epic fails. Flash over the wall after killing the Z. Is going to get away from this one. Hold up, Koinu's not had enough yet. He's coming onto Doom McClure. Now the teleport's coming in. There's TTTJ, the super scary Aurelia. He's on top of the Corki, unleashed power. There's one more auto, they go down. Now Nompa's going to be the focus, but back away from that one. And that's 3 kills for 1. They set that up and really baited in SWSW so well.
I think in the grand scheme of things, that was a 4 for 2. 4 for 1, sorry, including the Dragon take as well, and the gold's starting to reflect that. There's not a lot the bottom lane can do here for Sweetie Swag. Koinu and Nomp made some really good play there, and they did manage to kill off Lucian, but unfortunately the rest of the team's just so far behind that they can't even compete at this point, and it is looking really worrying for Sweetie Swag here. And that one guy feels confident enough just to walk in and solo invade a Wrecking Ball at this stage, and it's dire when that's sort of how confident the enemy jungler is feeling 15 minutes into the game. And TTJ
jumps on top of Divine, and one more auto. There it is. Killing spree for TTTJ. Divine going back to base, seeing that death screen for the 5th time this game. That's really hurting him. The Aurelia got one gank from the Kazakhs, and that's snowballed over and over this game. In that top lane, that one guy has set up his team to do well, and they've taken the lead and run with it.
Yeah, I mean that's really great confidence in his team from that one guy. You know, he's recognized, okay, I'll set myself a little bit behind, looking for an early gank, and you know, give that advantage to my laner and just let my laners go with it. And obviously they're doing him very proud. As you said, 6-1 on Aurelia, Trinity Force, and an extra 1200 gold. Combustion's gonna get in trouble.
Cataclysm onto Combustion, but they just back away. Unleashed Power can get right on the ground. Now it's getting death knight, but leads so low health that doesn't work. Not trying to do something here. Combustion's on his Hourglass is baiting him in. Now that one guy picks up a kill. That's 3 kills already. Stun onto Koinu. Is it going to be more? Yes, it's sentence. Sealing his fate. Hold on, TTGJ's not done. He joins the fight from the backside. Nom goes down, and that is an ace for JD, the DJ.
Yeah, not just an ace, that's a 5 for 0. There's going to be a tower on top of that. It's 11k at 16 minutes. That's almost 1,000 gold a minute lead. I mean, when you're Sweetie Swag, this must be really disheartening to play, and I think you can see that a little bit in the players' play. They're tilting a little bit. They're really struggling to stay in this game mentally. You know, that's half the battle really. They have that Rise. I mean, if he can somehow get to 40 minutes in this game, you know, hope for maybe a little bit of overconfidence from someone like the Aurelia. You can see she's just feeling so strong right now. Just solo fighting when she knows there's 3 members around of Sweetie Swag. Maybe you can look to capitalize on that, get the shutdown, or maybe take an objective from there. But you know, you sort of, as everybody well knows, we've all been at this stage at one point in our games, and it's just so hard to recognize that that's what you have to do, rather than just focus on the fact that you are so far behind in this game.
There's not going to be many windows of opportunity to turn this game around. SSW, if they spot one, they need to take it. They need to see it and run with it. It's going to be really difficult. Being so far behind, and just the fact that individually they know they can't win fights, but they have to find the one that they can. And it looks like Leap's going to be going down. Oh, not quite. He does get out of this one alive, really. That one guy flashing and taking him down with spikes there. They're trying to do things, but it's individually. It's not as a team. And that's the only way they're going to make something positive happen in this match.
Yeah, and you see Koinu there just dropped a half health from 1Q and a stun from Syndra. And Syndra's got a death cap and a Zonya's, you know, 18 minutes in this game. Lucian's just solo pushing bottom lane. He's no ward coverage at all. He's not even worried. And you know, this as much as you know you can hope Sweetie Swag have got it in them to make something happen this game, it's just looking like all around domination from JD to DJ here.
TTJ is 3 levels ahead. He's just sitting in this bush. Doesn't really care about the minions. Wants to push the mine into the ground even further, knowing that he wants to get these minions. Where is he going? He's heading to the mid lane. There's a few members around the map here. TTJ's going for it though. Oh, no he's not. Wow, that was a really heads up play. With no vision of the jungle, he actually, instead of going for the kill, he just jumped in and stunned Divine.
Yeah, I think you know, maybe he sort of had that intuition to recognize why would Rise come up, you know, this far without knowing exactly where everybody is. He must have somebody close by. So you know, maybe just that high level of play coming out from Aurelia. You're now going to TP to stop them from taking blue. Rise actually stops it though. That's not where you want to be, Rise.
No, that might cost him his life. Doesn't look like though. He does still have a turret up there. And now Leak's coming in, flashing it, gets mark onto TTDJ. This is exactly the fight they want, but it's not quite enough. All it took was one flash from TTDJ. They're trying to make this work, and they're really going. They really went for it there in the top lane, but it didn't quite work out. It might dishearten them, but Ilya is. Do they need to keep trying to do these things?
Yeah, that was close, but you can see just how rattled they are from that play alone. You know, Rise throwing out the Rune Prison a little bit too early. Zed then had to flash to get in range, but had already used his ultimate, so they had nothing to chase earlier once she flashed, instead of having the Zed Shadow and the Zed Flash to follow her once she flashed. And it's just little things like that that are mistakes that happen when you're behind and when you're worried about how the game's going, that ordinarily you wouldn't make if the game was even. And unfortunately, those are moments where you have to be strong, with Jarvan getting hooked in mid.
Yep, and he just goes straight down. This is an inner turret pickup as well. One very soon gonna fall. There it goes. And too much here. He's looking just for death sentences. He's able to zone out multiple members of the red team just with the threat that they're going to be next, because he did land a death sentence onto Wrecking Ball, and that's exactly what it was. They just took him down very quickly, and these thresh hooks are so dangerous and so potent when the rest of his team has dispersed him. And we go on to Cookie.
Yeah, under his Nexus tower, Rise was there as well, but he just got hit by that stun and a death sentence on the Rise as well.
Yep, and he's just taken down as well. So this game really is over, and it's a bit of a shame to see the way SWSW is playing. They can't do much about it. Another member goes down. Lee's trying to solo push this bottom lane. There's a death.
Oh my god!
Wow, he's hitting pretty much every single one of those.
I can't believe that death sentence landed. That was incredible. But yes, unfortunately that looks like Sweetie Swag gonna take third place in this tournament.
No, but not before that one guy is shut down. They're just hiding around their fountain. That's the only place they feel safe at this moment. And they are pushing out of it. I do wonder if it's going to be a turnaround. No ultimates are available for Syndra and Aurelia though. They're jumping on them, the culling, forcing the Wrecking Ball to think twice, but he's doing just that. Stun lands onto two of them. This is where they want to go. Great disengage there, as now Unleash Power on top of a Wrecking Ball. They're kiting in, they're kiting back, and now Leak's kick marking him, but every time it's getting too late. It's like this time as well, he is taken down. And the kite back from the team. Well, hold on. Epic just jumped in to 4 members. That's not where he wanted to be. He does go down. Really low health for the rest of DJ, but it's not really going to matter at this stage.
Yeah, you just can't chase that. Even though they are so low, there is still so much CC between the 3 of those players. And Corky finding a bug in mid lane that he has to run away very, very quickly from.
Every member of JD to DJ is scary right now. Even Thresh, his sentences lead into the rest of his team's damage, and that one guy, all he has to do is lead. I'm not a Wrecking Ball, just using Cataclysm on a champion who has a fairly low cooldown leak ability, so that was a strange one. Now he's taking a lot of damage. That one guy again, away. He does hit the knockup though. That may be just enough they need. No, Dark Passage takes him away to safety, and Thresh is there just in the nick of time.
Yeah, and just again, it hurts you so much mentally when you don't get kills like that. You have 3 people chasing a Kha'Zix around in the jungle, and you just can't lock him down to get the damage that you need. Getting a kill on the Kha'Zix would be, maybe not quite enough, but it's something. It's something that Sweetie Swag haven't had all game. But Now it looks like it's just going to be the Baron to end the game quite easily for JD to DJ here.
So they're going to take this Baron down, and then they're probably going to need to go back to base as well. And some items before they do make use of that one. We see Epic going back to base. That one guy into DJ as well. All of them really just looking to pick up final bunch of items and really go for this final push. Are they going to go into the bottom lane and get that last inhibitor?
Well, the mid inhib's still up for SWSW, but
oh, right.
You know, ordinarily I would say pushing the bottom lane's the best option. You can look for kills under that tier 2 tower. If somebody makes a mistake, it is significantly easier to dive. And if you can find a kill on the outer tower, it makes the inner tower a lot easier to push. There's the most gold in the bottom lane as well. There's 2 towers compared to 1 tower, but you know, JD to DJ not really interested in that. They recognize the game's, you know, pretty much in their hands right now. They can do whatever they want.
And they're gonna do just that. DJ jumping under a next turret. Inhibitor his turret has gone down, and the Janna has gone down. Not taking that one, but then Koinu's getting his sentence. Wrecking Ball tries to disengage the fight, but it's really just an engagement to his own demise. Leap running away from an Aurelia. Nexus turret falls, and Leap is on the fountain. He even goes down. That's one Nexus turret, a triple kill for Epic. Surely it's going to be the next Nexus turret in the game.
Well, they need to kill an inhib first. But yes, I'm not sure if SWSW will revive any more in this game. You know, just complete destruction from the score up there, 31-8. For me, it all stemmed from that first blue buff fight. Jarvan made the mistake of walking into the brush after he had vision. He then you know, made the call for his team to contest that blue buff, didn't get it, and that just set him so far behind. Kha'Zix, recognizing how far ahead he was, recognizing that he's got to push that through for an advantage for his laners, did just that, got his solo lane, both of his solo lanes a kill, and you know, from that point there, it was almost out of control for SWSW, and you know, they didn't make the right plays to come back into it, and you know, maybe just a little bit of not used to playing from behind. We have seen them take the early leads in every game that they've played today, except for this one, but unfortunately for them, that's going to be the end of the tournament for them. They're going to take a respectable 3rd place, though.
So, we do congratulate SWSW with 3rd place, but now it's going to be the grand final coming up next. A rematch between Glasslip and JD to the DJ. The last time they played, it went back and forth for a very long time, but in the end, Glasslip managed to pull out the victory, but only just. It should be a really exciting match coming up. Do stick around. We'll be back very shortly.